Hello everybody.
Hello everybody.
Now before you say anything, the lights behind us are not Christmas lights. They're our basement lights. Somebody said, why have you got Christmas lights on? And they're not. They are fairy lights, but we have no light down here, so this is our fairy lights. And I don't like bright, harsh lights, so they're our fairy lights. So yes.
And it's all warm and cosy throughout the winter. It's
all my
lovely.
Christmas decks are down now. I'm very sad. I'm looking forward to the end of this year, so there we go. Anyway, why are we here today?
Well, we're here today because we want to give out a special message and an understanding, really, of some information that we have. But this is to all of those young people out there that are Jehovah's Witnesses, ex-Jehovah's Witnesses, and young people in general. And we believe that some of the stuff we're just about to talk to won't take very long, but it's to just let you know that as adults and
and parents,
and as parents, the world that we live in now compared to when we were your age is completely different. Let me give you an example just to get this started. When I was sort of 14 years of age, sort of 15, 16, and then moving off into my early 20s, we didn't have any of the technology that your generation now has. We didn't have mobile phones. We didn't have computers. All we had was television with 3 channels and a telephone box down the end of the street.
Do you know what? I remember growing up as a kid, my grandfather called us the push-button family. Do you know why? Because we had a VHS video recorder and I had a Walkman. And what was the other thing we had? I think I then eventually got onto Atari ST, which was a computer game playing thing, which was absolutely the thing that was around at the time, and it was just the most amazing technological thing.
Yes, I remember those, yeah.
And because of that, my grandfather thought we were really wow, you're so technical and you've got all of this stuff. I look back now and I think it's dinosaur stuff
it's unbelievable
compared to what's around now.
Yeah. You are in a very different world, and this is the reason that we're coming on to talk to you about, especially those particular youngsters, those young people. Call yourselves what you want to do, that are still within the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society, and you are given severe instructions, very strict instructions, that if you do go on the internet, it's to jw.org and to nothing else. We know that, and we've seen the instructions that are given out as a result. But also, you're told to read these books here. And as I look through my fingers, don't switch off. Yes, I know. Yes, yes, I know what you're thinking. You're rolling your eyes already. You're looking at that stuff and you think, do you know what, Mark and Cora? I wouldn't even pick that up off the shelf.
Dinosaurs.
Yes. This stuff is so out of date.
I remember when this was released, and as a young person at the time, I had to sit in a specific designated area at the assembly. All kids of a certain age and under had to sit there, and I was just in the bracket of being able to sit in this particular area to receive my personal copy of this. It was the first time I'd ever been sitting away from my parents.
Were you excited?
I was nervous because I was so used to sitting with my family, and suddenly I'm having to sit in this certain area in order to receive my copy, and I had to be on my best behaviour because I was representing the family, and I felt that all eyes at the assembly were on this one section. And it was quite embarrassing in another way, because you're sat there and all of this whole football stadium's looking at this one section of, because I remember the talk that was given was, this is our youth, this is the next generation, and everybody's going,
You're the future of the Watchtower. That's what they were getting at.
No pressure.
No pressure. Yeah. And do you know that's still the same today? They still have this idea that you youngsters out there, sort of late teens, early 20s, you're going to take this organisation forward? Really? Okay. Well, if they're going to follow it through with stuff like this, and this is where we're getting on to the digital age of youngsters today, because this stuff is so far outdated now.
This one was reproduced in 2011, so not long ago. You're talking, 4 years this year? So
now, some people might argue, well, no, the stuff isn't outdated. It's relevant to today's issues. Okay, all right. Well, let's look at it another way. We know many, many youngsters, let's look at the 16 to 24-year-olds, who will go straight onto a device, straight onto computers, and they will look up information. They will start to read and look at variant types of information before making up their own minds as to what it is they want to actually understand and believe on any particular subject.
Yeah.
You are so far at the what's the word I'm looking for? Right at the front there.
At the forefront of technology. I remember seeing a film once about a person that had been in a coma for a good few years, and in the meantime, while they were sleeping, the mobile phone came about, CD players were developed, CD players, and all these different things that we look at now as part of our everyday life. And I remember seeing this film, and this person woke up, and they could not believe. They burst out laughing when they saw this person walking down the street talking to themselves, because they thought this person had lost their mind.
I still do love.
I know you do. But people, they couldn't get their head around the fact that. So if you can imagine being asleep. And being asleep for many, many years, and I mean, between now and the next 5 years, if that happened now, the technology that you'd be seeing, it would be like you waking up and seeing the film Back to the Future, where they're on hovercrafts and things like that. You just go, I can't get my head around it. That's exactly what it's like for our generation. We've seen the progression of the technology, whereas you guys, you have been born into this and you know no different. So it's like a second nature to you.
You are fish in water over there. So
yeah,
you just
kids
run with it.
We can tell, because our kids, they pick up their phones and and they're using two fingers. And
I couldn't do that. If I had a phone or a computer, I have to ask about how do I do this? How do I? But we've noticed with the children,
it's second nature.
They don't even have to be told. They just say, "Well, Dad, it's so silly. It's so easy now, Dad. You just do this, this, and this."
Yeah.
And what we're trying to get at here is that we understand that you are so more advanced than we ever were, because of the technology, because of the advancements in that technology, and it allows you to have that vital thing called information. The information age, as they call it, is now right at your fingertips. And you've got men in America, in New York, who are making specific instructions on you not to go and research.
But if you do, to do it within the confines of your society. Now, as we were growing up as JW youths, our only source of information was the society's literature. And at the Kingdom Hall, there was always the library that you would go to, because not many people had a large selection of books in their own home or in the family for you to do research on. You used to have bound volumes of the Watchtower and Awake magazines and things like that, but not as to the extent that the Kingdom Hall would have.
That's right.
And that library has got smaller and smaller over the years, because they're having to destroy all of the old publications because of the history they don't want you to know about. And the wonderful thing about the internet is that it's far bigger to hold a great more wide expanse of detail and information than any physical book library can ever have. I mean, you can carry around a Kindle now that can hold thousands of books.
Well, we're preaching to the converted here.
We are, I know.
And this is what we're trying to get at, is that we understand that.
Yeah.
But what we're also saying is then, if you are one of those individuals that's still looking to take the courage to just start going that a little bit further, then please do. But we know that the vast majority of you are already doing
there.
it.
Mark found a website, didn't you?
Yes, I've got something here that we're going to put the link on.
I'll put the link at the bottom.
It's not very long, so please, I know you're probably thinking, come on, Mark and Cora, what are you getting at? Come on, this is the younger generation, we need to move on.
You lost me at hello.
All right, okay, so I will move on. I can hear you all thinking right now. So here we go. It's called Media Fact Sheet, Young People's Needs in the Digital Age. Okay, so here we go.
And it's off of a site called youth.net, isn't it?
Youthnet.org.
Youthnet.org.
Yeah. It says, summary, to help us and other organisations who aim to support young people, we have looked at how digital communications have impacted on the psychological and neurological behaviour of young people, and the challenges this poses for agencies and organisations who aim to support them. The below facts and figures have been taken from the report Life Support Young People's Need in a Digital
And
Age.
there's a link you can click and you can go on to that.
Yeah, there's a lot of really interesting information. Digital natives. Young people aged 16 to 24 are digital natives, meaning that the internet is a natural space for them and is fully integrated into their lives. Fully integrated into their lives. The fact that young people can interact, maintain their anonymity and compare information sources empowers them. Really interesting words. Young people use new media. New media allows them to create a continuous stream of multiple conversations, interweaving differing media formats. They associate the internet with a strong sense of community. Young people use a number of digital devices and different modes of communication at the same time. Now here's some percentages.
We've seen that with our kids.
Yeah.
They can be talking to us, they can be doing the phone and actually looking something else up at the same time. And I'm like, how does your brain work like that?
No wonder you can't get your homework done.
Yeah.
But they are doing homework in lots of other things.
Yeah.
Here are the percentages. 45% of young people that were surveyed said they felt happiest when they're online. 75% of young people claimed that they couldn't live without the internet.
I know many people that have said, I can't live without my phone.
No.
And yet we did for years.
That's because they're fully integrated into the communities
Used
that they
to it,
live.
yeah.
86% loved how new technology helps them communicate with people. So that understands why the 75% need that. 96% of 16 to 24-year-olds say they use another media device while using the internet, which is what you just said.
Yeah.
Trust and safety. Something that the Watchtower would have you believe is demonic out there and pitfalls. Young people have a predominantly confident yet cautious approach to the online environment. To a great extent, they have the ability to see through posted information.
Now, this made us smile because gone are the days when you'd pick up something like this and go, oh, it's fact. Oh, okay, we're going to follow that to the letter because the society said that. Now, if they see something that's posted or written, they don't just go, okay, I'm going to believe that. Because the technology's there and this is the way they've been brought up and the way that they work, they search it. They search it out. They research it. They make sure it's fact. They don't just take the word for it. That's why a lot of people have, the younger generation are so, they're not easily fooled. We were easily fooled. You're not easily fooled now.
No.
And that's a wonderful thing.
It is. And just to back up what you've just said there, young people, I'll carry on reading, young people have developed strategies for proof verification and use multiple sources of information both on and offline to check information. This is where the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society is on the back foot because we believe that most of you, if not all of you, are using these devices and we encourage you to continue doing so. 76% of those surveyed felt the internet is a safe place as long as you know what you're doing. Okay. Advice on the internet. The internet plays a role in the full process of getting advice and taking action, rated alongside family and friends as a source of advice in stressful situations. Young people will go to different sources for advice depending on the topic. The internet is in the top 3 sources for advice across all issues. The benefit of anonymity was perceived to be an important benefit of internet advice seeking, particularly for women. The single most important reason for 43% of young people using the internet for advice seeking in stressful situations was that the internet is anonymous. Being able to give back to others from their own experience is important to young people who seek the opportunity to direct, engage, and share their personal experiences with others in a similar situation. Bear with me, I've nearly finished. 82% of young people said they had used the internet to look for advice and information for themselves. 82%. Fantastic. 71% said that when looking for help and advice, it is best to find as many sources of information as possible. Come back to that in a second. 43% of young people prefer sites where they have the opportunity to provide advice as well as receive it. Wow. This survey was taken by Professor Michael Hulme of the Institute of Advanced Studies at Lancaster University, and is commissioned by the charity YouthNet. So 71% stated that when looking for help and advice, it is best to find as many sources of information
as possible.
That's young people saying that, not us.
They check it again, and double check it and double check it again. So they're checking constantly against other information. They're not just taking one piece of literature, they're taking multiple, and they're looking at it, and because most of it's on the internet and at the touch of a button, it's just so easy to access this stuff now. It's amazing.
And as it said, young people have developed strategies for proof verification.
Exactly.
This is amazing. And the more we talked about it, we realised, didn't we?
Yeah.
From the experiences
this is a whole different age to when we were young within the JW religion, because we're very concerned about the way that youths are growing up in something that we now know obviously is completely and utterly evil. That's our pure vision of it, because it encapsulates and captures people's minds and blinds them to reality, and you can be captured and captivated for the rest of your life in a cocoon and not realise what's out there. And to know that the youths of today are far more informed than we ever were, I think there's hope there, to know that you're going to start doing your own independent research, and unlike us, the library that's available to you guys is far greater than one that was available to us.
It's an infinite, wonderful place to be able to go and
we weren't able to know about the past of the history of the Watchtower. No. We never knew anything about it. Because we had no access to it, because those publications just did not exist.
No.
Now you can access so much. It's
all
amazing.
Of the history is out there.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show that now you can have the full truth about the truth, and not just the stuff that they want to try and sort of manipulate you with and control you with.
And fool you with.
Proof verification through multiple means and through the media itself is out there. You're using it. We encourage you to carry on using it. And this is where the Watchtower has become unstuck, because the future generations are now looking at all of that information and are making up their own minds very early on. Many of them still living with their parents, that they are waiting and thinking, hang on a minute, this isn't a life for me. I can now see this for what it is, and I will carry on proof verification and looking at different things, and really solidifying it for me to know that where my life is, it's not sat there looking at a Watchtower magazine every Sunday. I've got far more important things to be getting on with my life and investigating what the world really has to offer. So we're amazed by this, and these statistics are incredible, and they back up exactly what we've been thinking for a long time.
And we just wanted to say, keep going.
Just keep going.
Keep going.
Yeah.
And
Don't
if you're in a
off.
Position at the moment where you're at home with your parents, and obviously your family is important to you, and we wouldn't want you to destroy that at all.
No.
But continue to research for yourself and make your own mind up. And find a life for your own with your own studies, for your future. Find yourself a future,
because it's your life.
Yeah, when you're old enough to make those decisions where you can.
Yeah,
know that there are many people out there that will support you in any decisions you make, as hard as they are. And
there is a massive community out here,
and
it's growing. There's many social networking sites, friends groups, all sorts of recovery sites. There's so much going on. But you know what? For the vast majority of young people now, that for lots of them, they might think, I don't need that recovery. I'm already there. I've worked my way out of this through the verification of all of the information that's out there. But thank you very much, Mark and Cora, for this video. But I'm already... So we
know that you are, We're not telling you to suck eggs.
We're not patronising you in any way.
It was just something that we noticed, and we just wanted to do a video just to say we're proud of the fact that you guys are so up to date with everything.
And we've spoken to a few of them.
Amazing.
And you are so advanced for your age, and we're just chuffed to bits that the internet age is here. It's a gift, and it's there for you. That you have a life of your own.
Be careful on it, obviously.
Be careful, yes.
Yeah, but
and respect your parents, respect their wishes. Obviously, don't go doing anything that's rash, but just take your time. And there's always going to be that time where you suddenly leave the nest. It's your life from that point onwards.
Yeah.
And only you can decide where you go next with it. But don't be controlled by things such as this idiot and these other books that come out. It's in the past, it's history, it's dinosaur stuff, museum stuff. We're keeping our books because one day these will be extremely valuable. We guarantee that.
because they'll be all burnt and there won't be hardly any of them left.
Yeah. So we wish you a good life, all you young people out there.
Yeah, and lots of love.
And lots of love.
And we'll speak to you soon.
Speak to you soon.
Take
Bye
care.
for now.
Bye-bye.